So we've got a really quick balance update when it comes to Marvel Rivals, and this will be taking place on the 19th of the 6th, which is in 2 days time from now. If you're watching this video when it drops, that is. So let's get straight into it. It's a super quick one. We want to get through this as quickly as we can, not to waste any of your time. So the first one, we have got Vanguard changes. The only change that we have here is quality of life update to Thor, and hopefully he gets a few more after this. But right now, when it comes to the Awakening rune, you can now cancel the Awakening rune manually after a brief delay, and that's going to allow you to kind of dash out of situations and not just be stuck in that Awakening rune animation. People have been asking for this one for a very long time. Hopefully they give you one to cancel his ultimate animation as well. That'll be really cool too, but a really good change nonetheless for any Thor player. Then when it comes to Duelist changes, we have Moon Knight up first, and we've got a slight increase to his base health from 250 to 275, and this is going to go in conjunction with his Moonblade overshield as well. So at some points he can actually get up to 325 HP, which I think is pretty solid. I think Moon Knight still needs more adjustments than just this alone, but regardless, decent change nonetheless to make him a little bit more valuable within the meta at the moment, because he is pretty bad. Then we've got a change to Star-Lord, one that we probably didn't really expect or needed, but regardless of that, we got a slight buff to Star-Lord's main primary damage. So they adjusted the fall off at 25 meters from 60% to now 65%, so not a massive buff in terms of damage at range, but it is still a slight buff nonetheless. Next up, and as expected, we've got Storm, and they've changed the energy cost and increased it when it comes to her ultimate, and we probably expected this one because the adjustments when it comes to the team ups that we got for season 2, and this one is getting a slight nerf to her base ultimate, and then also gets adjusted with the team ups as well, which we're going to get onto right now. So we've got the Chilling Assault, which is the Luna Snow Hawkeye team up. So the Ice Arrow, the reduced damage from 30, so that's 120 max at 30 meters, is now reduced to 100 damage max at 30 meters. So that is a bit different, to be honest. And then the kind of base damage is 25, right? So it's not as high at the kind of closer ranges, which is basically how this team up actually worked, by the way, if you did not know that. So the farther it went, the more damage it did, and the closer it was, the less damage it did, which is a bit weird because usually it's the other way around, right? Then reduce the stun duration for enemies hit. So when you freeze them, it's going to reduce the stun from 1.5 seconds to 0.8 seconds. This is a massive nerf, by the way, to this team up, because being stunned for 1.5 seconds basically allowed you to fully charge your bow and hit a 3-second shot on the enemy, but now this is almost cut in half. So unless you're really fast and you've got good tracking and you're able to hit your shot as soon as the enemy kind of comes out of the freezing state now, this is going to be mainly for your teammates to kind of act upon and deal a little bit of damage. So I feel like they nerfed that part of it pretty hard, in my opinion. So that's something that it's just kind of, we're going to need to get used to, I guess. And then on top of that, they reduced the spell field damage range, which is basically the radius of the attack. So because it was previously 3 meters in radius, it could hit multiple enemies. Now it's only 1 meter in radius, and technically you can still hit multiple enemies, but it's not going to be nearly as good, man, as what it was before. I think this team up, even though you can use it through walls, you need to be really accurate with it now, and then also you need to follow up your shots much faster, and also it does a lot less damage. They could have made almost any one of these changes and that would have been enough to nerf this team up, but they made all 3, right, which I feel like is just killed the team up completely. So I don't think this is really that good or as strong as it was. Then we've got the Jeff Nado, and this one needed to be nerfed. Like, this is the one that should have got the nerf like super hard, and this got nerfed where the increased time to devour enemies is being bumped up from 1.2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. So essentially how long it takes for Jeff to actually swallow you when you're near Storm is a little bit longer now, so you've got more time to react instead of just getting swallowed up almost immediately. 0.3 seconds of difference is not going to change this team up too much. Obviously, with Storm's ultimate getting nerfed slightly, then that obviously makes a slight change, but I don't think this is like a huge nerf to this team up. Still going to be really good, right? And then last but not least, we've got the Rocket Network with Penny Parker, and essentially they just changed the cooldown time to this, where it's no longer 20 seconds, but now it's 30 seconds. I think that this is still going to be pretty decent. Although not having the kind of penny nest, like two of them side by side nearly as often, is obviously going to make this team up not as good, but regardless, you're still going to have an extra penny nest in general, and I think that's what makes it good in the first place. So I still think the Rocket Network team up still going to be pretty decent, although you just can't spam it nearly as often. I think the one that got hit the hardest was this team up with Hawkeye and Luna Snow, but they're both super powerful heroes at the moment, even without the team up, so I don't think this is going to make much of a difference to the heroes alone, but the team up itself is no longer that useful. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.